everyone and welcome to Tenkiame. Sun shower, I actually don't know if that's how it translates, maybe. Anyway, this is another from the Groupies collection, a visual novel, and well, I had to fight with my firewall because it kept getting the exe file out for some reason, but it should be okay. So, I mean, I'm not going to get past this game. I paid for it actually from the bundle, but still paid for it, so it's been a while. It's been a while in the folder. Let's begin. Close your eyes gently. Don't be too harsh on your eyes, okay? While listening to the sounds of the nature in my mind, sitting out on the porch, a gentle breeze caressing the skin, I feel comfortable. Yeah, actually I thought that today or yesterday when I was out. Yes, it is. Are we Aoi? Suddenly a voice from a place where there was nothing. I was totally relaxed, but I answered out. Well, that's why you answered out, right? I wonder if any guests came. I opened my eyes. Huh? Hello? I left my parents' home and went away to school. Several years passed. It's not unusual for my parents to call me like this. Yeah, I was sleeping. Yeah. Okay. Are you doing alright? Do you have any money? Are you making friends? Sometimes I'm annoyed when they call, but I'm thankful for regular contact with them. I thought that's what they were calling about. Huh? Grandpa? But this time it was a little different. It was a notice beforehand of things outside of my imagination. August. I definitely won't forget what happened that summer. The beginning of the story was this phone call that puts me on this old train. This train track is a little old, so the train shakes a little. Please watch out for the overhead luggage. Hey, have you been on Polish train? Even the new ones are crap. And they shake. Whoa, what? From the start I was worried about this train. Phew. The track joints make a regular sound. In this train, which beckons travelers, only empty seats are seen and there are no other passengers other than me. It seems I almost fell asleep. Due to the risk of falling rocks, we'll slow down a little. We're sorry for the inconvenience. The train passed through the mountains. Outside the window is thick white. I guess the enigma is still hitting here. Thick with trees. While watching the boring sight, I took out my phone from my pocket. There was no signal, as usual. But I can see what time it is. When I looked at my watch, I noticed I had been on the train for a long time. Wait, if you had a watch, why would you look at the phone for the clock? When I came here before, I remember how long it takes. My grandpa's house is in such a country. Grandpa, are you okay? I said only to myself. My parents had told me on the phone that my grandfather was sick. My father was very busy with work and couldn't go to visit him. So instead, I, the grandchild, went to see him. He's old, so you should visit him. That's the reason. It's summer break, so you can help with his work on the farm. Enjoy the country life instead of just wasting the vacation time. That's true. That's what my father said to me. The vacation is a joke and I don't feel like going. But Grandpa took care of me when I was little. I was nodding my head without really thinking about it, all of it. I was born and raised in the city. However, I need to accept the country life for a while. Even if I was going to meet my own grandparents, I was still nervous. We'll continue. We'll be arriving at the next station soon. Oh. It seemed that this train ride was almost at the end. That's a nice place. Well, I finally arrived. I stretched my stiff back. The bright daylight greeted me as I got off the train. There was a nostalgic smell of the forest and the sound of the cicadas. And the train station without the turnstile. I can imagine that existing in the city. If there aren't any station staff around, I can freely pass through, right? There is no such a person around here, right? If I think that way, I'm convinced everything should be fine. The forest and mountains go on as far as I can see. The green of the vegetation glare reflects brightly in the sunlight. Only the power cables, stretching on for miles in the distance, give me a small scented hint of civilization. What about the houses, man? The word country is a perfect description of this place. Yeah. I would always take countryside over city if I had this possibility. There is nothing much here. I have visited here many times when I was a child. Even if I remember fun or nostalgic times a little bit, the memories are ambiguous. I can't remember it so clearly like a novel read too quickly. Anyway, the bus is... My grandpa's house is too far from the station, so walking there is a little tough. I would say it's a walking distance, so I'll take the bus. Although it's rusty, there is a bus stop with a schedule posted there. When I check the schedule, I see that the bus just left. The next bus will come in 3 hours. Blank spaces occupy most of the time slots on the bus schedule. After that, nothing. There probably aren't many people using it. I miss the city where a train comes every few minutes. No, you don't. People talk about how nice the country is, but actually it's quite inconvenient. What are you talking about? I know that the population is steadily increasing here. Okay, that's actually true about the villages even in Japan, I guess. From what I've read. I have no choice. Let's walk. It's a pain to walk, but waiting around for 3 hours is worse. Besides, I doubt the bus will really come in 3 hours from now on. Fortunately, I have a very slight signal on my phone. If I use the map, I won't get lost. Probably. I'll take a deep breath and put this heavy bag over my shoulder. It seems that from now, my time here will be difficult. On the road, I see bear warning signs. Nice. I checked to see a terrorism alert sign. I was walking in the brutal sunlight for 2 hours. I didn't encounter any bears nor terrorists, but I did arrive at my grandpa's house. I'm tired. Yes, voiceover in the game. Actually, we knew it, but I'm so happy about that. I love when there is voiceover in the game. I can rest a little bit, okay? I only have the main MC to talk with. Us. Which is great. By the time I arrived, the sun had completely gone down. The sunlight, which had been so strong, was now soft. 2 more soft, smiling faces greeted me. At first I thought you were quite sick, so I didn't think you should come to pick me up. I actually have no idea what hernia is. Let's check. Why not, Ryan? Let's learn something new. Learning with PolishLynx. For you guys probably know what's hernia. Oh my god, there is so much to read about. Oh my, is there... Oh, there are different types as well. What the heck? Also, the pictures are disgusting. Let's not learn about. Let's not learn with PolishLynx today. I thought he would have been groaning in pain. When I heard the details, it seemed that it was just some back pain. It was apparently an exaggerated story. Grandma, everyone will misunderstand. It's no problem about that, but thanks. Grandma said this to me and gave me an iced tea. My smiling and gentle grandmother hasn't changed at all. When I drank the cold tea, my fatigue went away. But please, be careful not to strain your back again. It may just be a temporary pain, but it's proof of his aging. Even if it's an exaggerated story. I feel the back pain is better than a worse alternative. Yeah, I'm on summer break from college, and I was thinking to help Grandpa work around here. Of course not. Maybe. I did understand what you mean from my walk here. There is really nothing around here. Yo, but there is so much to look at. Sure, you need to avoid the bears and terrorists apparently, but still. My grandmother looked so sad from my direct words. I think I shouldn't have said that to her. But it's too late to go back and apologize for that now. I wonder if she noticed my strange expression. She continued on. What do you mean? Whoa, I see. It was the first time for me to hear about it. I wonder if all the houses will line up perfectly like the suburbs or something. Better not. I wonder if all of this natural land will be filled up with people. No. If so, what will you do with this house and the land? I'll move in there, can I? In other words, all will be lost someday. This house and all of this area. Maybe Grandma is worried about that. We won't lose it, but it will be transformed. It seems that the winds of change are sweeping through this place, which was left behind in the old times. Same. I want to move in there. That's one way of looking at it. But changing everything completely sucks. New development. I can't say if it's good or bad. The conveniences are good, but I also understand my grandmother's feelings. Anyway, there's nothing we can do about it. Yes, we can. But my grandparents continue to talk about it. While listening to their conversation, I continued to drink the tea. Then, Grandpa took a shower and Grandma started dinner. I was now alone in the room with nothing to do. Phew. I stretched out my tired legs and arms on the floor. Starting tomorrow, I'll be helping my grandfather with the work around here, so I'd better get some rest. When I was a child, I helped him with his work, but it was hard, even if it wasn't all day. If I can't work harder than Grandpa with his bad back, it will be bad. It's a possibility. When I thought about that. There was a sound of a bell, wasn't it? I definitely heard light, cool, and nostalgic sounds. This is... Maybe it's coming from over there? I wonder if there is a breeze. I was so bored, so hearing this nostalgic sound was interesting. I woke up and tried to find out where the sound was coming from. Yeah, definitely a bell. Okay, is it the bell that is basically under the roof? Just as I thought. When I went out to the porch, the wind chimes were ringing away. I used to have those as well at some point. It was an elegant sound. The wind from the mountains, which was softly blowing, and the sound made the sunlight of summer feel cooler. I feel pretty good. Here we are. By the time dinner's ready, I'll be cooled down here. I decided to sit down out on the porch. It's not a bad view. The sound of the wind chimes. The sounds of a gentle breeze and the trees swaying back and forth in it. What's that? Even in the city there is the sound of the wind, but I didn't think it was so good. Yeah, in the city it's not that great. No. Because besides you don't hear it properly. But here it sounds different. Gently, I closed my eyes. I heard the sounds of nature which softly entered my mind. I thought the country seemed inconvenient, but it's alright. Not all the time, but occasionally. No, all the time. It's alright all the time. It's better than city. At least for now, it's okay. It seems, anyway. I agree. Yes, it is. Suddenly a voice. From a place where there was nothing. Huh? I was totally relaxed, but I answered out. I wonder if any guests came. I opened my eyes. Huh? I wonder when she came here. There was a girl next to me who I didn't know. In addition to wearing white robes, she also had beautiful white hair. It was blowing in the wind. This girl was enjoying the cool breeze on the porch with a friendly smile on her face. A friendly smile turned my way. Gorgeous clothing, but her words have an innocence about them. A little too young for me. It's so cute that she wants to be friendly and throws caution to the wind. Fox girl detected! However, I found something strange that quickly reversed my first impression. My face went blank when I saw them. She had the ears of a fox. Why did she have them? Whatever, they looked good. Yes, because fox girls, best girls. Those flattened ears didn't detract from her beauty. On the contrary, rather... Were her ears moving? What? I would never forget the beginning of that summer. That mysterious girl came to me at that time. There is another one! Yeah! Anyway. The sunset shined on the neat, orderly garden. When I stood out on the porch, the almost forgotten memories of the house came flooding back. Time seemed to have stopped, the landscape hadn't changed at all. Then, my time also seemed to have stopped. It's fun that time stopped, but I was still moving, isn't it? Such silly things were circling around inside of my confused head. No, nothing. Despite my confusion, she was still smiling. Because I couldn't see clearly through her hair, I couldn't find normal ears in the usual place. Those are normal ears, what are you talking about, man? Even though I kept checking again instead of those, I could only see attractive fox ears on her head. I noticed that unlike a fixed costume, her ears were fluttering slightly. Hey. Naturally, her speech became more frank in tone. Myself, on the other hand, remained polite because I still wasn't understanding what was going on. It was the feeling of walking on eggshells. May I ask you about your ears? Okay. An extremely simple answer came back to me. The answer was deep in simpleness. Ears? They were just her ears, that's correct. Apparently she could hear, so they functioned normally for her. What the hell, man? Even though she were a fox. Even though they were foxes. Why would they not function normal? Oh my god, this guy. Then I convinced myself and tried to look forward. No way! The problem wasn't whether she could hear or not. That form! That color! Everything wasn't human. I also noticed then that she had a tail coming around from her backside. Her beautiful, cute tail was the same white color as her ears. I understand. My thoughts came full circle and halfway back again. I arrived at the most realistic conclusion. Are those part of a costume? That's amazing! Well, that is dressing up in a costume, selecting one and putting it on. Her blank face showed me that she had rejected the conclusion which I arrived at. Apparently, she didn't know anything about cosplay. On the contrary, she didn't even understand the concept of it. So that is... What? The twitching tail and the flattened ears were her own real tail and ears. It was so simple. But I still couldn't understand. Well, could I ask you one more question? I like her voice, by the way. I asked her directly, but she might not have understood that question. I tried to rephrase the question. Dan, do you live here in this village? What do you mean since long ago? That's a second question, but whatever. Since long ago. It was the answer I was looking for, but I understood she was, after all, a neighbor? So, do you know my grandparents? Really? My grandparents loved children. I could see them really taking care of the neighborhood children. I wonder if she went there often and asked my grandparents for sweets. Imagining it made me smile. Suddenly I felt that the mysterious fox ears and tail were absent from my imagination. Please do. Well, I realized that I had introduced myself. I didn't know who she was, but she also didn't know me. Is it the same for both of us? I'm the grandson in this house. That's right, my name is Aoi Miyashita. Grandma and Grandpa. Her words were a little strange to hear, but I wanted to communicate with her. I'll stay here for a while. I just arrived a little while ago. Yeah, that's right. Wasn't Aoi blue? I think it was blue. I mean, yeah, that's basically one of the things I learned actually. Maybe I'm not correct. It's a name for various plants? But wasn't it a... no. Wasn't it a color as well? Ah, it was owl. Okay. But... yeah, it's blue. Wait, what? English speakers would call blue and green? What? Yeah, adjective form is aoi. Okay. I think I learned aoi. Whatever. No, I don't know Japanese, by the way. No, sorry. Your name was even stranger than mine. I want to say that to her, but I refrained. We had to get acquainted with each other the first time we met. Can we be friends? Yeah. I don't know much about this area. I'd really appreciate it if you can show me around. That was all just social etiquette. But suddenly her face changed from my words. Isn't good? I won't bother you too much. Oh, thank you. Of course, if you want. The girl said it with a cute smile. I still didn't understand what was happening, but we're hitting it off. Even though she looked unusual, she was friendly. I felt that we were connecting. Then... by the way, your ears are gorgeous, and your tail and outfit also. What's her name for? I tried to get straight to the point. Her face looked proud as she felt I praised her. Maybe she was more childish than she looked. Is that popular here? I also want those. Because they are precious to you. Really? Every question led to more questions. Ears on the head and tail on the backside. She's a fox girl, man. That's... just accept it. You live in a great reality where it's possible, okay? Accept this. When I added up all the facts, the most impossible seemed the most likely and realistic. Even though we were in the country, that couldn't have really happened. So this was probably some big misunderstanding. No, it wasn't. Huh? I wondered if he was finished showering. Grandpa's voice came from the living room. The smell of the good cooking floated out to where we were. She twitched her nose as she sniffed the aroma, so I thought she was a little strange. I understood that I couldn't relate to her very much. That was the end result here. My grandfather's stare coming from the living room changed from me to the mystery girl. Like me, he didn't seem too surprised. His facial expression suggested he was quite familiar with her. That was his only reaction. Is it me or... No, it's happening as well. Like there's some weird shade. I wonder what's causing that. You see, this like the light is kinda weird around her, face only. Anyway. And that is how we learned her name. The girl, who was called Ina, ran to him and gave him her big smile. They were familiar. They were too familiar. This girl! Then I was the old man out. What the hell? Hang on. Who is she? When I thought about the last conversation, my grandfather was undoubtedly familiar with her. If we were all going to eat dinner together, of course they were very close. Then I might have finally got an answer to all of my questions. What are you talking about? Huh? I'm your grandchild. I was speechless from this unexpected announcement. Maybe he was going to tell me that this girl was from another child of his. That was big news. Grandpa, you have a lot of explaining to do here. But okay, please. Making sure that she was fed took priority over my little questions. However, it seemed to me that he was going to explain the situation. Tick, tick, tick. Finally, the conversation ended and we moved to the living room where dinner was ready. She followed behind me. Then... Exactly. When I returned to the living room, my grandmother was just starting to wash her hands as well. She seemed to be completely unconcerned about ears and tails. I was the only one who had concerns about it. Yeah, you are the only one. The person with concerns was the strange one here. Yeah, you are the strange one, man. Thinking about it, I rolled around on the Japanese tatami floor. Grandpa, this girl is... Please, what in the world is going on? Yeah? Grandpa... No, it did... By the way, why do you know so much about it? The white hair was also very strange. But not the hair. I was talking about her ears and tail. I feel they are not fake. Grandma, even if they are real. My grandmother in her came back from the washing her hands. The girl sat down on the floor cushion. She sat down so naturally as if she was a comfortable part of the household. What? Let's go there. Best kind of shrines. The fox's daughter changed to a human. That's why she had the fox ears and tail. I see, I see. If you could understand it, we could understand anything. Hi, at least. Couldn't, and was confused again. Hey. Are you two teasing me? That witch is so cute of the ears. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I'm getting more and more confused. It was a very relaxing mood here. That peaceful atmosphere transported me to a different realm. Or all of us might have been being deceived? Yeah, that's right. But I feel it's a little strange. Let's eat. Itadakimasu. We didn't need to be so careful about the situation. I had too many questions in my head, so I reached that conclusion. Anyway, I hadn't eaten anything yet. That meal with natural local ingredients, yes, gave off a steamy delicious scent. Of course it did. We started to eat. Other things came later. Can I have seconds, please? I mean, he was walking for 2 hours to get there, right? In the heat. I already had some. Yes, yes, very delicious. Thanks. While we ate, we were able to have a normal conversation with her. It might have been because I was hungrier than I thought. Or she was so cute when she happily ate the dinner. Or was my grandmother's homemade cooking so delicious? I didn't believe this strange story about the fox child becoming human. The more my stomach filled up, the more I didn't care about all of that. And after dinner, she went to the kitchen to help my grandmother clean up. I stared at her. Her ears and tail twitched. Gradually, I wasn't concerned about it. It was also a song by a famous singer. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me speaking words of wisdom. That doesn't even rhyme. Let it be. Let it be. When I thought about it, my mind could feel that way. After dinner, I went to my room. The old and very nostalgic room. I wonder if they had cleaned it up. It was old, but very clean and orderly. They had made a bed for me, and I jumped on it. I could sense the scent of the sunlight on the futon. The tatami room was nostalgic with the soft futon. That made me feel sleepy. Maybe I was just tired from all the day's activities. Let's sleep. An excessively long train trip and walking the mountain roads. And it was good that Grandpa was doing okay. All these things went through my head as I struggled to stay awake. Tomorrow, we'll start working the fields and I hope I can do a good job for him. The important thing is, that day, I found out some astonishing things, but I couldn't focus on that. It was better to just try not to think about it. In that quiet house in the mountains, I fell asleep so quickly. I went to slumberland, slowly, but quickly. Anyway, let's end the episode here. Oh, that's loud. Let's end the episode here. We'll continue tomorrow. This is going to be a lot of fun, I think. A very chill game, I believe. And that's nice change of pace. So hope to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.